the start of the movie, we see a beautiful small city floating in the sky called the Metro City. It was completely different and more advanced than the real world. The person who made the Metro City knew that the world will soon change a lot, so he made a completely unique city far from the earth into the sky. The beauty and cleanliness of the Metro City were because of the robots working there. All those robots were made by a genius scientist named Tenma. Toby was the only son of Dr. Tenma, who was very intelligent just like his father. One day during physics class, the teacher took a test and Toby quickly solved all the questions. When the teacher checks his test, he sees that Toby solved all questions correctly and got full marks. The professor was shocked at his intelligence. Toby leaves for home after class. His father sent his assistant, robot Terrine, to pick Toby up from school. Terrine takes Toby in the car and both of them head towards home. There in the car, his dad appears using holographic technology. He talks to Toby and apologizes to him for not taking him to the Ministry of Science where he used to work. He also tells Toby that he would show the president of the Metro City a new and advanced robot. Due to his busy schedule, he may come home late. Hearing this, Toby becomes stubborn and says that he also wants to see the new robot, but Dr. Tenma refuses him. Then his father's holographic image disappears. Toby was very curious to see the new robot, so he orders Terrine to go to the Ministry of Science. But Terrine refuses him because his dad had ordered Terrine to take Toby home directly from the school. When Toby sees that Terrine is not listening to his orders, he changed the command system of Terrine and then ordered him to go to the Ministry of Science. Terrine takes Toby to his father's office, where his father scolds him a lot after seeing him. He asks him to leave for home immediately. But the president of the Metro City says to Dr. Tenma that he is your son and that's why he wants to see that robot. So one day he would become a genius scientist like him. But Toby tells Mr. President that his weapons are all old and faulty. This made Mr. President very angry and he asked Toby to get away from his side. There was another doctor named Dr. Alpha who was explaining to the other scientists about the energy of the blue core and red core. He tells them that the blue core has positive energy while the red core has tremendous negative energy. The president arrives at the hall and takes away both blue and red core energies. Then Dr. Tenma and Dr. Alpha show Mr. President the genius robot they have made. They named it Peacekeeper. When the president sees the giant robot, he becomes very happy and he then asks Dr. Alpha to put negative red core energy in the Peacekeeper. But Dr. Alpha refuses him because the red core has tremendous negative energy which he never tested before. But the president was adamant to test it because he would do anything possible to win the next elections. He snatched the red core energy and loaded it inside the Peacekeeper. When red core becomes completely loaded inside the Peacekeeper, he starts becoming dangerous and aggressive and headed towards them to attack. Seeing this, Dr. Tenma imprisoned the Peacekeeper inside a room. But Toby was also hiding in that room. Dr. Tenma becomes very worried and concerned about the safety of Toby. Toby constantly bangs on the wall of that room to save his life, but the door was emergency locked and cannot be opened now. The energy of red core was increasing and it became so high that Toby could not tolerate. Because of this, he died on the spot. Peacekeeper made a big hole in the wall of that room and breaks the door. Seeing this, Mr. Alpha installs a blue core energy in Peacekeeper. When both energies combined, it resulted in a giant explosion. Due to this, Peacekeeper was destroyed. But along with that, Toby has gone too. Due to his son's death, Dr. Tenma was very sad. He thinks that he is responsible for Toby's death. That is why he decided to make a robot just like him. He worked days and nights to make a genius robot like his son, and then finally the robot was ready. He found a hair strand of Toby from his cap. He scanned the DNA and transferred all the memories of Toby to the robot. Then he installs a blue core in him. When the robot opened his eyes, he looked exactly like Toby, and he is considering Dr. Tenma his father. This makes Dr. Tenma very happy and he brings him home. When Terrine sees Toby, he was very confused to see him alive. He then scans Toby and realizes that he is also a robot. Dr. Tenma comes there and tells Terrine using sign language not to tell the truth to the boy. Dr. Tenma wanted the robot to wear Toby's cap, but he refused it, which made him very sad. He understood that this robot could never take the place of Toby. Then he scolded him and sent him to his room. Toby was sad when he heard two robots talking to each other. They were calling his hairs horns. Toby becomes angry and tells them that these are not horns but are his hair. Robots were shocked to see how a human can understand robotic language. Toby was also confused about how he can understand the language of robots. While he was talking with those robots, suddenly he fell from the building. Due to fear, he closed his eyes, but just when he was going to hit the ground, his feet turned into rockets and he was saved. After seeing this, he was very happy. He started flying in the air. He thought that he might have got some superpower. He started flying across the city with joy and happiness. When he got home, he saw his dad talking with Dr. Alpha, where Dr. Tenma was saying that this robot could never take place of his son. Toby understood that they were talking about him. He became sad and asked his dad what they are talking about. Dr. Tenma revealed the truth this time. He told him that you are just a robot that he made to fill the need of his son, but he could never take his place. He asked Toby to leave and never come back. Hearing all the truths made Toby sad and he immediately left. Mr. President got the signals of blue core energy energy from Toby. Seeing this, he sent some of his fighter robots to catch him. They tried to catch Toby, but due to the blue core energy, he was strong enough to save himself from any danger. He destroyed the ships of robots like a piece of cake. Seeing Toby's powers, Mr. President attacked him with missiles. This time, Toby was not able to defeat his enemy and got badly injured. He fell from the metro city to earth. When he comes to his senses, he sees piles of robots around him. They were all broken robots that were disposed of from the metro city. There, Toby met a robot named Trash Can who threw him in a trap. After a while, some kids arrived and they were shocked to see Toby there. These kids used to collect broken robots, but when they see Toby, they didn't realize that Toby was a robot too. They thought that he's also a human. There was a girl named Cora in the group. She asked Toby about his name and from where he came. Then Toby told them that he came from the metro city, but said that his name is Astro instead of Toby. When they saw that Astro is from the metro city, they became so happy because it was one of their biggest dreams to visit the metro city one day. When Cora asked him about the reason why he came here, Toby told them that he is an orphan, so he was kicked out of the city. Cora took pity on Toby and took him to her house. There were a lot of kids who were also orphans. There was a scientist named Humming among them. He was very fond of making robots, so all the kids collected the parts of robots for him. Out of his love of making robots, he used the parts of the broken robots to make new ones. Humming treated Toby just like his own son, which made Toby very happy. He started thinking that he has a family now. The next day, Toby also went with the other kids to collect the parts of the robots. But on the way, Trash Can tried to tell them the truth that Toby is also a robot. But no one understood him. Toby saw a huge robot on the ground. He asked Cora to take this robot to Humming, but Cora refused him, saying that this robot is 100 years old and it's quite heavy. They couldn't lift it. But Toby went inside the robot and scanned him. After scanning, he got to know that what was wrong with it. The giant robot's name was Jog. When Humming was training his robots to fight, all the kids took Jog to him. He was very happy to see it. But when he checked Jog with his device, he realized that Jog had a very powerful energy in it. Accidentally, his device touched Toby, from which Humming came to know that Toby is also a robot. But he didn't reveal this to anyone. Then all kids cleaned Jog and painted him properly. Jog completely looked new. The next day, Humming took Jog for a robot fight and all robots got scared after seeing him. There, Toby asked Humming that you love robots, why you are taking them to fight. He then replied that no matter how advanced and developed a robot is, they are only made to entertain humans. Then he gave Toby an electric shock from a device that made him unconscious. Cora asked him why he did this. Humming said that Toby is an advanced robot that looked exactly like humans. After hearing this, everyone was shocked. But when Toby came back to his senses, he finds himself on the battlefield. There, Humming tells everyone that Toby is a very advanced robot who came from the metro city. He is their enemy, so he has to fight with one of their robots. After hearing this, he refused to fight them, but Humming forced him to fight, and Toby unwillingly had to fight with the robots. One by one, he defeated all of them. Humming then called Jog to fight with him and asked him to finish Toby. But Jog didn't fight him because he was alive only because of Toby. Instead of attacking him, he started attacking Humming and tried to kill him. But Toby saved him. Humming felt humiliated by his actions. Suddenly, Mr. President appeared on the battlefield with his ship and took Toby with him. After he left, Cora and other kids were sad. President took Toby to Dr. Tenma and asked him to remove the blue core energy from him. His father agreed on taking the blue core out of him, but just when he was going to take out the blue core, Toby said to him he had regret that he could never be his son. Dr. Tenma felt pity for him, but he still removed the blue core from him. Just when the president was about to leave with blue core energy in his hands, Dr. Tenma took the blue core from him and installed it again inside Toby. Toby came back to life again and escaped from there. Due to this, the president was very mad at Dr. Tenma and got him arrested. He again loaded red core energy in Peacekeeper. Just when the red core is installed, it sucked the president inside him, and after he got inside, he started controlling him. Peacekeeper went to kill Toby. He destroyed a lot of buildings in the metro city. Toby tried to stop him, and then a fight between them started. There on Earth, Core and all other kids saw the destruction of the metro city, so they went to help Toby. There, Peacekeeper had an upper hand on him. Just when he was about to smash Toby under his feet, Core and her friends arrived to save him. Peacekeeper tried a lot to catch them, but he failed multiple times. During the fight, the power supply of the metro city was destroyed, due to which the city started falling on the Earth. Toby somehow managed to land the metro city on the Earth safely. The fight between the Peacekeeper and Toby started again, so the Peacekeeper tried to suck Toby inside him. And just when the energy of the red core and blue core mixed, there was a huge explosion. Then Toby understood how he can defeat the Peacekeeper, but his jet came and took him home. Suddenly, Toby saw that Peacekeeper has captured Cora and her friends. To save his friends, he went straight inside the Peacekeeper, and the energy of the blue core and red core mixed, and a massive explosion occurred. Peacekeeper died, but the president somehow was alive, so the officers of the metro city arrested him. Toby was unconscious, and all kids were worried and sad about him. Dr. Alpha tells them that Toby needs blue core energy. Then Jock came and shared his blue core energy with Toby. Toby came back to life and everyone became very happy. Dr. Tenma started loving Toby like his own son, and all kids started living happily with Toby.